Hello everyone and welcome to your show Around Kuwait. This is your host Abdulaziz Darwish. As usual in our show, we're shedding the light more and already focusing more about multiple events happening in the state of Kuwait, such as occasions, conferences, championship, tournaments, exhibitions, occasions, even anything happening, celebration in the state of Kuwait. And also sometimes in our show we have also a distinguished guest who are going to join us to talk more about their specialties, their achievement, and also even more. And before we start, I would like to greet our working crew and also my colleague Hiba. Hello Hiba, and happy to see you today.
Good day, Abdulaziz, and a great welcome to all of our viewers that are watching us today in a new episode around Kuwait. As usual, we prepared for you lots of headlines to talk more about all of the things that is actually happening here in Kuwait, especially with all of the events that is happening. So starting with the first headline, Abdulaziz.
So today we'll talk about three main topics, about handcrafts, about championship, even about music events.
Yes.
Different categories, handicrafts. You know, we can see all the times handmade, it's the most and it's the oldest occupation in the world.
Yes.
If you're paying something with your hand, this is the oldest occupation. When moving to, we talk more about the champions, the athletic champions, is considered, some we call them the pride of Kuwait. And at that we'll talk about music instruments.
Yes.
The life with music.
Indeed. So our first headline is about Expo 965 team standing and presenting their activities. And then we have with that also Yusuf Al-Shamlan and his great world, let's say, achievement, world championship itself. And also aside to that, as our final headline for today, we're going to talk more about Al Ahmadi music concert that's been held in Yarmouk Center.
So these are about the main topics for today. But before we go to our first break to know more about our certain topics, let's discuss more about.
Yes.
You will see now the handmade crafts have become the high demand. Even championship, we see too many Kuwaiti champions, and we see the NCCAL. They are publishing sometimes music events. The latest one, you see too many, like we say, music experts in state of Kuwait.
Yes, and talking about such events, it's very important to educate ourselves when it comes into our tradition, to be proud of our youth when it comes into participating in World Championship, and finally having that taste of, let's say, music, culture, exploring that kind of side is very important, because at the end you want to have that kind of very important balance between, let's say, life and trying to enjoy it as much as you can.
So these certain, we consider them hobbies. When talk about the handmade and the sports and even about music, they are certain hobbies.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes you will see people like they are talented.
Yeah.
People that are very high talented, we can say, in this kind of thing. So a great handmade, we're gonna create something, we call it like a precious, maybe an art.
Indeed.
And the people who's like they're doing their best in the sport, they become champions. And music, they become like we call legends, we can say. And we will talk more about the music all the time. Music, we call, dear viewers who's watching us through the KTV2, music, we consider them a universal language. So these are our main three topics. Let's go to this tiny break. They will continue our show Around Kuwait.
During Expo 965's ongoing cultural festivities, the team recently held a press conference to unveil their upcoming activities, focusing on traditional crafts and heritage. Expo 965 is dedicated to promoting the rich cultural heritage of Kuwait. They're also taking significant steps to highlight the importance of traditional crafts and heritage in the modern world.
Good evening. This is Yasser Al Jadi, one member of Kuwait Antiques Expo 965. I'm one of them. I'm the person who was responsible on the personnel of these people. Now we have a big event on 22 up to 26 October. Will be on morning and afternoon time. Morning especially for the handicaps and also schools, to children of the schools. And nighttime we have for the other people, anyone he can come. It will be on the Ministry of Ministry of Defense, Mr. Sheikh Ahmed Fahad Al Ahmed, and also four ministers will be there. Every day we have an opening. Every day we have gifts to the people. Every day new thing. You can see a new thing. You can check everything there. Depends on Kuwaiti culture and Kuwaiti antiques.
The press conference served as a platform to provide insights into the various events and initiatives that Expo 965 has planned for the near future. These activities are geared towards preserving and celebrating the nation's craft traditions and heritage. Expo 965's commitment to cultural preservation and enrichment is evident in the diverse range of activities and exhibitions they have in store. These upcoming events aim to foster appreciation for traditional crafts and heritage, serving as a bridge between the past and the present.
My name is Professor Ali Saleh Al-Najade. I am the spokesperson for Expo 965 team for heritage and handcrafts exhibitions and talented Kuwaitis. We also focus on our students, male and female students. We invite them to come and learn from the exhibition. Every day we're going to have different workshops and small talks about different topics about the Kuwait heritage and the handicrafts, traditional handicrafts. We invite all the people of Kuwait, whoever is living on this in Kuwait, the students, we invite them to come, learn and enjoy seeing all the exhibited or all the displayed items, and also enjoy the handicrafts.
As Expo 965 continues to contribute to Kuwait's cultural landscape, it remains a vital force in preserving and promoting the nation's rich traditions. Stay tuned for their upcoming events as they promise to provide a fascinating journey through Kuwait's cultural heritage. In a nutshell, Expo 965's recent press conference highlighted their dedication to preserving traditional crafts and heritage in Kuwait, further enriching the nation's cultural scene. Their upcoming activities will undoubtedly provide a meaningful experience for all those who appreciate the value of cultural heritage.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to Around Kuwait, talking about our first headline about Expo 965 and their event that is actually showcasing when it comes into their activities and all of the things that they're providing as a team itself. You know, they're one of the most remarkable team working with different kind of age categories, highlighting and representing all of the things that are very essential to Kuwait in the past.
And you know something else, my co-host Hiba, I know for sure Expo 965, me and you, we interviewed too many members of this team. You know, some of them, like maybe they are, we consider them are like our grandfathers, our fathers, and even youngsters. All of them, they are expert and they are into that, we call it history. Some of them collectors, some of them handcrafts, some of them like teaching the young generation how to do their handmaids and sewing, and even more, especially Dr. Salman Najad. We know him, that he's into sadus and waving. I know, like, I know me and you already, we are honored and privileged to interview most of them. So what about your experience with Expo 965 team?
Well, representing Dr. Najad himself, one of the things that was really remarkable about him is talking about Sadu prints, and that each print represents a culture, represent a country, and people used to, like for me, for instance, I used to see these prints as something, let's say, something beautiful that is presented as a fabric to decorate the way we sit, the way we present the home and so on. But then, no, it was representing a culture, a country, maybe a community itself. So it's very beautiful to see such beautiful prints, drawings. People would see them and consider them as something just as a decoration, but it holds more value to it. So yeah, these are the things that I learned, especially talking about
And also, in addition to your topic, when he waving the Sadu, you know, we have also a Sadu house, one of the historical places in the state of Kuwait. And this kind of place, people people visiting there to know more about how to wave the sewing and waving the sado. So sado, it's like something important. So Dr. Najada, on behalf of our show around Kuwait, was sending appreciation and gratitude to him about his special effort, what he's doing for the sake for the Expo 965, and to aware the young generation about our history. I know you've been to Sado House before. How do you describe it when you see something about our tradition?
Well, it's very beautiful to see this kind of mix of fusion itself, using the past, using modern, let's say, style itself, trying to combine the different kind of gap of generation all together. Like, I've been associated with people who are actually working in Sado House, talking about, let's say, trying to make Sado prints as more of a traditional fabric printed way that people could actually wear it and add it towards the clothes hub itself. So it's very beautiful to see such great idea presented over there when it comes into Sado House. Aside to that, Aziz, talking about Expo 965, talking about their whole message and trying to, let's say, represent a very foreign handcraft tradition towards the youth itself, because in the end, this is a culture, this is a generation. We don't want to lose this kind of culture and generation, having that great separated gap within not our generation maybe, but we're talking about the 2000s, that there's a very huge gap when it comes into that. Trying to represent the past in a more modern way, trying to represent how authentic it is within all of the different kind of methods is very important and very important.
And also in addition, we spoke already about the waving. Let's talk more about some of their members from Al Ghalaf Al Stad families. They are building small Kuwaiti ships, you know.
Yes.
We called them our Kuwaiti souvenirs, and our Kuwaiti logo, because Kuwaiti logo consider about desert and al boom ship.
Yes.
Boom Safar, we can say all the
Yes.
time. And I already had an honor to already visit Al Galalif, we call it Diwaniya in Asharq area. You will see some of the members for Expo 965 there. They're doing their handmaids to doing like small ships, you know, small souvenirs. And they are teaching us and the young generation how to build a ship from their foundation. And they're sitting with the young generation, our old generation, talking about how they are building the ship and the type of the ships. You know, do you know some of the names of the ships already?
Well, because you asked me now, you know, this kind of question when you said that.
Yes, directly, yes.
So, album is one of the names, and I remember that there is the one that travels, a big one that actually, like,
Jalboot, we have,
yes.
Safar, Boom
It's
Safar.
not Jalboot. I can't recall. I'm gonna rethink about it while we have the interview itself. But talking about Al Galalif, like talking about this kind of family and how they used to, let's say, work on wood itself, and how it's very, let's say, tiring, but at the same time, you know, talking about them. Like, I remember having an interview with one of the family member, saying that he really tried so hard in order for him to educate himself about how to create the boat itself, because talking about such handcraft is actually stopped here in Kuwait. People who used to work in this field are, let's say, yet very old. At the same time, people started to forget about how to actually work with wood itself within that kind of category of size, presenting the boat itself. So he actually said that he had to travel to different countries, trying to educate himself, and he actually mastered it and represented here in Kuwait, telling everyone to come join, explore when it comes into Expo 965, try to learn more about such an amazing, let's say, industry, and one of the whole old traditional ways in actually creating a dough, let's say, something that represents Kuwait in the past. It will still represent Kuwait, like it is one of the most important logos that we have here in the country. So having that said and presented, you have to at least maintain a handcraft, let's say, piece, to know more about, or let's say to connect you between the past and of course the future.
Everything reflects about something about history, you know. When I've been visiting for these workshops, I saw how they are building the ships from the foundation and the names and the others. Now, because we talked about some of the members of Expo 965, it's worth mentioning at the end of October and the end of this month, from 22 until 26, from Sunday to Thursday, we'll talk about the fifth annual Expo 965 exhibition. It will be held in Ahmed Al-Adwani Gallery, Al-Funun Hall, in the Dhahiyat Abdullah Salim area. This kind of the hall and the exhibition and the ceremonies will happen in the morning and the evening time. Too many workshops will be held in this conference and this event. Too many people coming from the GCC countries, from the Middle Eastern countries, forums, exhibitions, workshops, evening night, award ceremonies, and it's under the patronage of His Excellency the Minister of Defense and also Sheikh Ahmed Al-Fahad. It's a great honor. You will see too many participating in the event, from the VIP and people that are expert and interested in the kind of the handmaids from all GCC countries, because we are all following in the same culture and they are coming here to exchange the culture also.
Yes, indeed, and especially when you're talking about GCC countries. I mean, we've always heard this kind of, let's say, experience and exchange of knowledge when it comes into talking about specific details, you know, dealing with so many things, especially when we're talking about equipments. Some of the equipments may be stopped here in Kuwait, if we're talking about Sa'af, for instance. Dealing with that, trying to create these, or let's say, original basket, trying to create the authentic, let's say, tableware that people used to put here in Kuwait in the past. I mean, people do actually travel to Saudi Arabia to actually take that kind of plant itself from the palm trees, because we do have it here rare in Kuwait. So therefore, it's actually very provided in one of the GCC countries as Saudi Arabia, and then coming here back again to actually represent it for everyone, having GCC countries come back here to see some of the rare things that we actually have and still have, and to exchange that is very beautiful and humble.
And also, in addition, when you see inside, when you saw also inside the exhibition, you will see that we call it all of them the collectors. They brought too many precious things, like special, like civil ID, the passports, keys, all the old instruments, all tools. Something when you saw it, you will remember something about your old childhood. This is the good thing. It's like to memorizing something that relates about the food, about the culture, about something you use daily time. You will see young people are collectors and old people are collectors as well. In the same hall, they are working together and all wearing the same costume, the old costume.
Yes.
And in the break time, you will see like something we call some small dramas, small activities. You will see people, they would like a storytellers, they're talking about the past, how they are wearing the old costume. So it's like, we can say like too many culture festival. Heritage festival.
Yes.
Yes.
It is a very indeed heritage festival. And I think one of the things that people should keep in mind, that they're not only focusing on handcraft, but also focusing about one of the, let's say, all traditional customs that we have in Kuwait, talking about storytelling, talking about games that girls and boys used to play. I mean, talking about it, comparing it between, let's say, GCC countries and talking about Kuwait, they are similar. Some, let's say, phrases are different, some ways of singing, let's say, are different, but in the same time, it is culture. It's very beautiful. It's representative to everyone here, and I'm very sure that especially the young generation, the ones who likes to sing along, who they like to, let's say, hum, and they like to, let's say, represent this beautiful culture of storytelling, playing, and all of these traditional ways are very important. And there's a way for them to preserve it by Expo 965.
And also, in addition, let's talk more about the guests also. We'll talk about they will present by distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, valued attendees. People are experts, people are interested, they are excellencies from friendly countries and brotherly countries will gonna participate. Kuwaiti guests from the GCC countries, they're wearing their own costume, their own experience. The good thing when they are coming and participating in this kind kind of exhibition, this kind of festival. We can't say exhibition, event, everything together mixed, because we are meeting our families. It's like to exchange the things and to memorizing something old, maybe something appears still here in Kuwait, remains maybe in the other GCC countries, maybe it's already vanished, maybe they're appearing there.
Yes.
It's going to exchange the culture. You will see people gathering, and you will see like the demand is high for this kind of exhibitions also, Heba.
Yes, indeed. So we can say that it is like a gathering conference that is presented for everyone from different kind of varieties of age, from different countries, to come educate yourself when it comes into culture, whether it's here in Kuwait or when it comes into the surrounding, let's say, countries. So with that, dear viewers, that was our first topic. We're going to continue after this report, so stay tuned with us. Welcome back, dear viewers, to talk more about our second topic. Now, our second topic is very important because we're going to talk more about our fencing champion with us, talking about him, talking about his participation, Yusuf Al-Shamlan. He's one of the most iconic person representing himself and Kuwait when it comes into such world championship.
And also on behalf of our show around Kuwait, we'd like to congratulate Yusuf Al-Shamlan and all the athletes who participated in the 19th Asian Olympic Games. Thank you so much for your hard work. The people who got the medals, congratulations. The athletic who didn't even got any medal, we wish you all the best for upcoming events. And we're always believing on you, and all the governmental sectors and people are believing on you. You will compete, you will do your best, because the state of Kuwait is the land for the champions, the land of a humanitarian land, of the friendship, because as our message all the times, it's a land of friendship and peace. So we're delivering our friendship and peace all around the world. We're showing about our peace, we call message, by competing in the different kind of sports. So that's why we are very proud about the Kuwaiti champions. One of them is Yusuf Al-Shamlan. And today I already checked my phone and the social medias. He visited one of the schools and they are honoring them, awarding him inside the stand, also the Ministry of Education, and they are awarding a sport champion Yusuf Al-Shamlan. It's a good thing, like it's not only about the champion, about only the Olympic committees and the Sport Public Authority and other government entities and sectors. They're already awarding our champions.
Yes, indeed, and they really deserve that, to be honest, because this is something very important. Representing yourself, representing Kuwait, and of course when it comes into such championship is very important. Talking about fencing, now this is one of the most honorable, prestigious sport that everyone is actually trying to master. It's very difficult, it's very challenging, it has lots of great movements that you need to have a very great focus, but at the same time you have to be very quick, very fast, and very on point.
Very on point, because this kind of competition have to be like a quick response, and you have to be well trained to do like a quick response. Like you have to be in a certain weight, certain exercise daily all the times. You have to focus on your goal, because fencing is like one touch, that's it.
Yes.
One hit, that's it.
Yes.
You have to be always cautious and how to be like the techniques of your opponent, because you're competing in the worldwide. Too many different nationalities, in Asians, in Europe, in Latin America, in Africa. Too many different categories, nationalities, their techniques also.
Yes, indeed.
And there is something else it's worth mentioning to add. We are very proud also about the handicapped fencing team. I was honored to be in Al Arabic crop participating, and I saw the handicapped team, the people with determination, they're doing their best, they're competing in fencing also.
Yes, indeed, and it's very beautiful to see them actually participate and to represent themselves in such a prestigious way. Talking about Yusuf Shamlan, we know that he actually, let's say, started at a very young age when it comes into playing the sport, playing fencing, and showing talent at that age was very important because everyone noticed that he's really he's really talented and he's really up to the challenge. Therefore, that's why this is not something, let's say, new to him. He's been prepared for it for a very long time. When he was really young, he was really remarkable. When it comes to when it comes into the training, that kind of achievement, that kind of commitment in trying to represent himself, trying to represent the country, it is very challenging, you know, because in the end, this is one of the most tricky games that you actually, let's say, play. There are 3 types of fencing categories, and I'm very sure that talking about them, it depends on each equipment, wires and everything. Yet, it's very challenging. I mean, you're wearing that face, let's say, a helmet itself, trying to
with
see
weights
through the holes itself. I mean, it is really challenging.
And also because you, I know already you've been in too many like sports shows, so you were interviewed too many fencing champions. So you have a big a good background about the fencing competitions, the categories. Thank you so much for sharing this information. You know, we are very proud of our young sports, especially when you keep interviewing the Olympic champions and the others. When you mention about Yusuf Shamlan, for sure, when he become in this type and this category and this level, we can say for sure all the time his family supporting him. When we interview too many like champions, we ask always about their family supports,
yes.
And they always telling us told us about their supporting their family, how they are supporting them. Or sometimes they discover their children have some certain gifts and they keeping training. You know, when you have any certain gift and you keep training all the time, exercising more than like 10,000 hours in your lifetime, you will be like not expert, it's something in your blood.
Yeah.
Like us, we are announcers, we are talking, even the directors, the cameramans, the preparers, because they are exercising every day, they'll be in the job, so they are expert in their fields. No need to, sometimes we have to prepare, but most of the times your experience all leading
yes.
the time with the situation.
Yes, I couldn't agree more on that. But you know, one of the most important supporter is yourself. Therefore, you always have to believe in yourself. You're the first supporter. Then, aside to that, you're going to have your family members and all of the club and supporters that are there, always going to be aside to you when it comes into your journey. Now, also aside to that, I mean, he had so many challenges, and I'm very sure that these challenges did actually made him what he is nowadays, how strong he is, how quick he is, and how balanced he is when it comes into such sport. Because again, we're saying that you have to be quick, you have to be on point, and you have to have that kind of balance, because you know, any kind of temper in that critical time situation within the clock itself, I mean, there's the audience, there's the timing, and don't forget that you're not playing by yourself. There's a different kind of, let's say, player that is actually having another match aside to you. So you have to always be focusing within your line, in your path, not focusing about the other players. I mean, they're a little bit close to each other while, let's say, trying to challenge themselves in such competition. But again, it is a competition, and I'm very sure everyone has to have these challenges in order for them to represent themselves.
And also, in addition, to be in a certain type of the situation, to be compete in the high level, for sure they have their certain goals. So Yusuf Shamlan already got the bronze medal in the 90th Asian Olympic Games. We already know this kind of award already well known for the last month,
yes.
until today. We're very proud of him. And also, in addition, he got the world champion. So
yes.
from Asian, he got the bronze medal, the third in Asia.
Yes.
And the first in the world.
Yes.
So competing from Asian athletics, and now they are competing with the other nationalities. So in his certain age, certain weight. This is amazing. That's why we are very appreciate, and like we are very we appreciate your efforts, Yusuf, what you are doing. You are such a young boy. You're such a future generation. He inspired too many young generations to be in this kind of sport in the future, because to be an Olympic champion and a world champion, you have to give you have to, like, your time, this time you have to be committed to the club itself, to the gym,
Yes.
to exercise every day, and you
Yes.
have certain times to sleep, and you have another times to do it for your own self. It's amazing, Hiba.
Yes, and talking about his journey, I mean, again, gaining that bronze medal is very important. Gaining the world. I want to talk about, especially at his age. You know, it's very challenging because you're going towards different competition. You are facing lots of difficulties. I mean, traveling abroad is a very big responsibility. It's a big challenge. No matter what age you are, it's all the same. I mean, the pressure is high. You're feeling homesick towards your country, your family members, your own environment. You know, sometimes when you travel abroad, your bed, once it's changed, it's like you don't feel really comfortable. Imagine that you're having, let's say, and facing a competition that is going to represent you and mark you when it comes into that for the world itself. Because when you're talking about fencing, one of the most important thing is that they keep record in different kind of course, competitions. And where did you reach in this point? How did you reach towards the next point? And it's like more of a track for you, you know? How to be there, what to be there, and what to do actually. So yeah.
And there is something else. When you travel abroad to compete, so this is like he gained experience about the jet lag, to avoid, to not to lose focus, not to lose determination, and not to feel weak and exhausted. Because when you travel, it's a different criteria, it's different experience as well. So that's why we are very proud of the champion Youssef Al-Shamlan, how he already being always preparing to compete and to take this opportunity to make state of Kuwait, the small country, what's the big of their achievement to be in the worldwide. So Kuwait is the big of their achievement. That's why we are very proud. So 4 million population, and they are doing their best. And this kind of population for the world is like something, it's like a small, maybe like a province or something. So these 4 million people, they're doing their best for the sake for their country. It's
Yes.
we are very proud of.
Yes, indeed. And always remember that participating means that you're actually, let's say, winning. It is a winning because you are committing for such competition. You're trying your best in such competition, representing yourself and representing our beloved country, Kuwait. And such great achievement, I mean, to be added is very important. Again, I mean, having that position, representing yourself and giving yourself a chance and believing yourself in competing with different kind of countries, region, and different kind of athletes is very important, because in the end you want to prove yourself not only for yourself but also for the world. And having that said, giving him the opportunity to actually represent himself, to add points towards his career is very important, and to show the world that this is not where you stand, but you can continue on in representing yourself and gaining more medals, gaining more reputation as an athlete, especially when it comes into fencing.
That's why we say all the times we are very proud of our champions. We are very proud of our athletics, what they are doing their best for the state of Kuwait. So dear viewers, this is that was our topic about our champion, the Proud of Kuwait, Youssef Al-Shamlan. Now let's go to this tiny break. They will move on in your show Around Kuwait.
In the midst of the vibrant cultural season at the Islamic Art Museum, a delightful musical soiree unfolded at the Yarmouk Theatre, featuring the remarkable Al-Ahmadi Musical Group. The Al-Ahmadi Musical Group possesses a truly unique and exceptional artistic style. Their music can be best described as a fusion blending elements from both British and European art forms. What sets them apart is their knack for rustic musical genres, with a particular fondness for jazz music. Over time, this musical ensemble has become known for its captivating local performances, consistently drawing the attention and admiration of the audience. The evening's musical journey was nothing short of enchanting. The Al-Ahmadi Musical Group's performance was a testament to their extraordinary talent and their ability to seamlessly intertwine various artistic influences into one harmonious melody. The fusion of British and European art with the rustic allure of jazz resulted in an unforgettable musical experience that left a lasting impression on all those present. The cultural season at the Islamic Art Museum serves as a creative platform for artists and performers to share their talents with the public. It's a time when people from all walks of life come together to celebrate and appreciate the diverse forms of art and culture. These events play a crucial role in enriching the cultural landscape, offering a unique opportunity for artists to connect with their audience and for the audience to immerse themselves in the world of art. The Al Ahmadi musical group's performance added a touch of sophistication and diversity to the ongoing cultural season. Their seamless blending of different artistic traditions showcased the unifying power of music and art, and has the remarkable ability to bring people together through shared appreciation and enjoyment. In summary, cultural events like these are the lifeblood of our cultural tapestry. They entertain, educate, and inspire, leaving a lasting impact on all who attend.
We had here at Yarmouk Cultural Center, Darat al-Islamiyya, this evening a concert of children's music and also music played for some grown-ups. And we're really pleased that the children did so well. About 30 children performed tonight, which is just a part of the music teaching of Ahmadi Music Group. So thank you very much for coming.
The Al Ahmadi Musical Group's performance will be remembered as a beautiful and artistic addition to the cultural season at the Islamic Art Museum, emphasizing the significance of such events in our society.
Today I saw everybody from UAS play the violin and they played very well. Also thanks to the teacher for teaching them. Of course they wouldn't be here without the teacher, and I congratulated everybody and they played very well, and some of them were my friends, some of them are in class, but like everybody that played, congratulations, and you played very well.
And this is my first time doing a concert outside of school, and it was really hard for me in the beginning, but in the end it was really fun.
These events enrich our lives and create a sense of unity through the universal language of art.
We are back to our show again around Kuwait. Dear viewers watching us through the KTV2. Before the break, we spoke about different topics about the handcrafts, and even we spoke about the champions. Now we'll spoke about something else. When we mention this word, it means a universal language. It means art. It means culture. It means civilization. It means history. When we mention the name, well, first of all, it comes to us Mozart, violins. We spoke about different kinds of instruments, different kinds of legends. We spoke about the music. Music, when you mention music, there is orchestra, there's like stage, there is microphone, there is singers, there is like bands, you know. The music is like a different criteria, different types, different categories. That's why we mention all the time music is also a universal language, because even in the state of Kuwait, you know, the club, it's something about our heritage. We mention all the time because we mention about, we call it the sea rhythms. Sea rhythms in the state of Kuwait is something we are already proud of, even the desert rhythm.
Yes.
That's why we mention all the time. The clubs, it's something about our heritage. We see
Yes.
the traditional bands.
Yes, indeed. And we're talking about that. We'd like to highlight that the cultural season is on doors. Therefore, we have the Islamic Art Museum representing all of these cultural events that is represented on theater itself. And one of these cultural events is talking about an Ahmadi musical. Now, an Ahmadi musical is one of the, let's say, orchestra bands that is actually represented here in Kuwait. We have different kind of participants from different kind of countries representing themselves in such a category and in such, of course, musical bands. So one of the things that they actually represented within the Islamic Art Museum is the teach by learning, if I'm not mistaken, within the group itself of the Ahmadi. We've seen Abdulaziz, so many great participants. I mean, there were different kind of varieties of age. We had the adults and then representing it through the young generation. So many kind of music instruments was represented at that time, and I'm very sure it really captured everyone's attention.
And also we mentioned about the beginning festival of Dar al-Athar al-Islamiyya. They have like their annual festival starting from now until the next spring season.
Yes.
They have music events, cultural events, lectures, something about history, culture and art. The good thing about this kind of location, we have two locations, Americani Hospital and Yarmouk Cultural Center. These two like we call it like artistic or maybe history buildings representing something about our history in the state of Kuwait. And we are very proud of, we will see like too many music bands competing all around the world, this kind of places, especially Al Ahmadi Music Group. So Kuwaiti groups, they are doing their best for the sharing with us about the new style of music, but they were sharing with us about we call it our folklore, about the certain music also.
Yes, indeed. And of course, we'd like to highlight that the Ahmadi musical is actually represented when it comes into British and European art, and they have different genres of music, even representing a jazz performance itself. I mean, having that said, it's very remarkable to see such kind of taste presented here in Kuwait. These kind of group, they're really active when it comes into representing their work. They even have rehearsals hours that is actually available for ones who would like to come and rehearse when it comes into that, representing the way you play music, the way you play art, the way you present the message itself. I mean, a person could actually, let's say, start participating and trying to educate themselves in that specific
You
art.
mentioned some of the music instruments which I love the most, which is jazz in music. You know, every time, every day when I listening to jazz music, you know what's the good thing about jazz? There is no like rhythms about the jazz, dear viewers. Any rhythm, it comes a jazz, because you can mix any kind of song, it will return as jazz. And you mix the jazz for the Kuwaiti songs. So to see rhythm to like music instruments, different style, this is like something unique. That's why we're very proud of our Ahmadi Music Group, because they're sharing to the audience like different category of the audience, foreigners, Arab, locals, and everyone's like interested with different kind of music. They're sharing about something about our culture. They are great ambassadors.
Yes, indeed. Talking about also themselves, they represent themselves in a very great way when it comes into the performance, especially now when we're talking about art, because we've seen so many people representing themselves within music, but having it said within the group work, it's very difficult. Having a very huge amount of number of members is very challenging, because you're tending of having so many rehearsals in order for everyone to be on time within the specific note that is going to be presented, not letting anyone to, let's say, move a speed ahead of another. Talking about instruments themselves, I mean, when it comes into the performance that was held in the Islamic Art Museum, we've seen different kind of violin representative, different kind of music instrument also representative. Even when it comes into kids, I mean, I didn't see the whole event itself, but through social media, I've seen elderly violin, let's say, players also representing a very young age violin players using the instrument, playing violin. I mean, violin is challenging. I really try to synchronize myself, trying to play with the strength. Though the numbers of the students are really less, but they're so challenging in order for you to go up and down to the E to the A and everything. It was really difficult.
Even for me, I tried to play piano before a long time.
Yes.
And now I forgot too many skills, but I for sure, if I like to start practicing again, I will be like before, like one of the experts in piano. So these kind of music bands we are very proud of because of their performance all the time, and they already played in the, we call it the Islamic Art Museum. I know for sure they have the future things to be in the event, because now is the beginning of the event, especially in this kind of good weather. Now we see too many outdoor concerts, and for sure they will do something in the future. And instead of the Ahmadi Music Group, I noticed like too many Kuwaiti artists, they are playing like foreign instruments like guitar and the other, you mentioned the violin, clarinet, a guitar. They are like, it's not like Arabs instrument, a different
Yes.
Europe instruments also.
Yes.
They are expert.
Indeed, when we're talking even about the notes, you know, Abdulaziz, because we've had this kind of difficulty in trying to, let's say, use the instrument and try to play it when it comes into certain culture. Some instruments did actually succeed in becoming part of the, let's say, Arabian culture, and the other actually, let's say, didn't, because this is having that kind of, let's say, differences when it comes into the European or foreign notes within the Arabian notes itself. And that's where the fusion, the beautiful fusion, actually starts to appear when it comes into, let's say, combining it all that within a particular, let's say, piece. So Al Ahmadi group, especially when we're talking about the musical, it's very beautiful. I'm very sure that everyone, let's say, delighted when they were representing themselves in the Islamic Art Museum. Talking about culture season, I'm very sure that everyone is very happy and excited when it comes into the season itself. You can book it online. It's not, let's say, for free, presented for everyone. You can just see it through social media platform, trying to, let's say, fit your schedule, see what kind of events that is suitable for you in order for you to actually, let's say, explore it and to enjoy that kind of sense of, let's say, having that cultural exposure when it comes into, let's say, different kind of categories that's presented there.
And also when you mention this kind of an amazing words, Hiba, you see like this kind of words, we are very proud about our groups. Today, we are very proud about our also topics today. Dear viewers, today we spoke to you and shared with you about the annual Expo 965 exhibition will be gonna start about 22 of October. Then we already spoke to you and shared to you about the champion Yusuf Al-Shamlan, the world champion of fencing, and at the end we talk about Ahmadi Music Group, the Kuwaiti group already played at about the Islamic music art. This is our like episode for today. Today our episode about proudness. We are very proud of you. So see you next time with more amazing episode. Have a good day everybody.